Aotearoa.
Like just down here there's a nice one, look.
Oh yeah, that's a beautiful one.
Can we take it back?
I'll pick it on the way back would be the best thing. Then you can carry it back in your hand because it'll fall apart. But when you look at that flower, you can see it's a daisy.
Yeah.
Mm.
Beautiful flowering plant, this. Absolutely wonderful. And again, it was used a lot by the tanneries. They say that the kamahi became almost extinct in the Auckland, within 50 miles of Auckland, because there were so many tanneries. As the population grew, they'd kill more and more cows, and they couldn't dare waste all those skins, and so they tanned them. And just went further and further into the bush to whip the bark off all the kamahi trees, and the trees just disappeared from the landscape. You know, it's these days now hides get salted and sent off to Italy, I think it is. But you know, it's the whole impact of industrialisation on areas like this. And there's another hino. The rewa tāne kaha, teketara. So they're all your ridge species.
Oh, Carmen. Oh, Carmen.
But you'll find very few of these species actually down in the bush itself, because they are very light demanding, sun demanding sort of species. So this will be a wonderful place to collect your mingi because it's right out in the sun. But remembering it is important that you only break off little branches. You know, I don't never go bigger than this. And just by itself, it is a very pleasant thing. But if you're dealing with someone who's got a congested chest, had the flu, I'll always either put karamu or kawakawa with it, just to help the kidneys to do their thing, as well as freeing the congestion. The difficulty these days is actually getting it, because lots of the places where it likes to grow have long since disappeared, but this is a superb place for it. So how many have had a go using the mingi since our courses? Found it useful?
Yeah, it's really, it really does.
I think we've had a brew, yeah.
It opens up the respiratory.
Aye. I find them mostly, especially for old people and children, but other people benefit from it. And it tastes good, that's my experience. Unlike some of the others, like kumaraho. I've never managed to get my girl to drink kumaraho, but she'll drink mingi, she'll pinch it out of the fridge as a soft drink. So I discovered recently. With your karamu, your kawakawa, is it actually stimulates the liver, and again that's a really important thing. You know, just amazing how many traditional people consider that the liver is more important than the heart in terms of the body's health. You know, of course, you know also the liver is where all the toxins are stored. The liver used to be the treasure in terms of a shark. When you caught a shark, you'd whip out the liver and cook it. But these days, don't touch it. I remember one of those old fellows from Tuhoi, have I told you about that one before? In Auckland, him and his mates were working up there on a building site, I think it was, and they were fishing, caught this great big long shark about 6 feet long, and so they took it home, cooked up the liver straight away and ate it, just fried it, and the next day he was the only one well enough to go to the doctor. All the rest were actually laid out. And he said he really felt sick, his skin started weeping and all sorts of things. Walked into this doctor's surgery, and he was an old time doctor, and he looked and said, "Oh, you've been eating shark's liver." And it was, see, all the heavy, a shark is at the end of the food chain. So so it actually accumulates all the toxins that all the other fish down the food chain have been eating. You know, so if you get, for example, oysters and those other shellfish, actually those filter feeders, and a snapper comes along and eats them, well, all that contaminant actually builds up within that fish. The shark eats that and it ends up in its liver. We eat it, then we get poisoning. So some of our traditional ways of eating we have to modify. And the advice that I always give to people is, don't eat the liver of a shark. If it was female, it probably would be, would have berries on it still. And the other important thing on it, of course, is this, which is
some orange stuff.
yeah, this is that osnia. And let's have a look at it. Yeah, it's a bit dry, but it's quite a good one. So it is a very, very good antifungal.
The osnia is.
Yes. And it's a cosmopolitan species. It grows right around the world. You know, remember that a lichen is a symbiosis. You know, a combination between a lichen, between a fungus, and an algae, and they grow together. They can't exist apart from themselves. And the ones that we're really looking for, the redder they are, the better. Oh, there's some nice stuff up here. Sometimes people just boil it and use it externally, like for thrush and for nappy rash and stuff like that. Some people will drink it internally. I've never used it internally myself. Very good for things like athlete's foot and stuff like that, just for its antifungal action. But I think overseas, and a lot of the herbalists will have a lot more to say about it than me. There are a lot of good other antifungals in this one. And if you find some really orange stuff, well, grab it. I think I've still got some in the boot of my car actually. And it will keep for quite some time. But you know, it's best to use it reasonably fresh. I find a good place is in the pine forests. Often on the trunks of the big pine trees you get some very lovely red or orange osnia, and it's just handy to grab it. This moon's better really.
Okay, these are the mighty midnight adventurers.
Is this us?
This is Cornelius. He wants me to record the glow in the dark mussels.
He's too tired to even come.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. So if you don't see these guys again, you'll come get us someday. Okay. All right.
Just yell. If no one sees us again, that'll be a very valuable bit of film.
I'll do. What's that? What was that one show that was with the witchcraft, the witch?
Blair Witch
The Blair Witch Project, yeah. We'll have to do one of those.
That right now,
hey, see it? That just disappeared. Be afraid. Be very afraid. All right. Good luck, everybody. Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Can we turn our lights off?
Oh, sorry.
He's got the camera on.
Can't see anything with the camera because the lights don't come up.
I can't see a thing.
It's just in front of us.
Awesome.
A little bit muddy here.
Muddy.
Can you hear it?
I'm trying to use it.
This little bank up here is really awesome. The kids just go wow.
Wow.
And it's one of the sources of water if you get lost in the bush. You know, because the tataramo is pushing up liquid to leaves way up on top of that remu tree. So they are very, very wet. You know, and
So it wouldn't matter which end you...
yeah. But the difficulty is, of course, everything above there will die. You know, but again, it's handy to know in terms of an emergency water source. And I've often wondered with a big thick vine like this, if you nicked it, whether it would actually drip. And I presume it would still have that sort of relaxing effect, almost as a painkiller. The other one that's really handy to know is the bark, the juice from the centre of the matai tree. The old thing was to drill into them, and then the liquid would come out when you got to the centre, and you can plug it. And then whenever you needed it, just pull the plug out and ran out a cup of it. You had to use it very carefully because it would knock you out. Yeah, but that's what they would use to, if they tried to set someone broken leg or something, they knocked them out with matai. But the thing is that you get an incredible headache out of it. But the other trick was you run it into a barrel and leave it to ferment. And it's the foulest, most terrible alcohol you could ever have apparently. And if you're in the bush working and you're desperate, well that certainly seems to do the job. So,
That's one we won't have to try, thankfully.
yeah.